I'm Noah's fiance and his childhood sweetheart. One day I caught him kissing another girl who he claimed was just a good friend. I'm so fed up with her. She's such a drama queen and way too sensitive. While he was hugging her, he complained about her. His friend laughed and said she's only that way because Noah spoils her. I reminded him to set some boundaries with her, so she wouldn't act like that. If he didn't listen, who is he going to blame? Oh, so that's how it went. Honestly, I'm not completely dependent on him. Eventually, I left, just like he wanted. But then he seemed to change completely, saying he wouldn't marry anyone but me. In the evening, Noah texted me, asking if I could bring some alcohol from home to the bar. I had caught a cold the day before, with a fever and dizziness, and he knew about it. I messaged him, I'm feeling a bit sick. Can you grab some drinks for me? He called me, and on the other end, there was laughter. Chill out, he said. Let's see how Noah handles his hubby duties. Are you down, Noah? Your girl isn't feeling well. Amidst the cheerful noise, he asked, Have you eaten? I hesitated. Yeah, I have. All the guys are waiting. Just delivering some drinks shouldn't be too hard, right? He said seriously. You have the energy to eat, but not to come over, I replied hoarsely. I took some cold meds, and now I feel dizzy. Noah, forget it. If you're dizzy, just give the guys the money. A rough female voice chimed in. I recognized it instantly. Noah's friend Mia. She laughed, saying Noah is going to lose money today because his little wife won't listen. The laughter made me feel sick to my stomach. Ugh, Sophie. Noah's voice had that familiar edge of impatience. I closed my eyes and sighed. Fine, I'll go now. I hailed a cab and headed to the bar. As I pushed open the door, I immediately saw Noah in the middle of the room, locked in a kiss with Mia amidst all the chaos. The noisy atmosphere died down when they noticed me. Mia, sensing something was off, glanced at me and screamed, pushing Noah away forcefully, like she saw a wild animal. Noah staggered back a few steps, looking at me with a frown, clearly drunk. Our eyes met, and Mia, trying to explain, said, Sophie, don't get it twisted. We lost a game and are getting punished. I looked at her cool tank top and white miniskirt. Noah and his buddies had complimented her before. She was pure and tempting. Ignoring my headache, I walked over and placed the drinks on the glass table. Drinks are delivered. I'm out of here. Mia suddenly grabbed my arm, smearing snot and tears on me. I turned, frowning as she pleaded, All the guys know we're just friends. If you misinterpret this, it's on you. Ha, misunderstanding, I shot back, pointing casually at one of the guys, their buddy. Then go ahead and kiss him too. Mia's face turned pale. Sophie, how could you? How could you treat me like this? Her eyes welled up, looking so humiliated, like a hurt little bunny. One of the guys stood up and said, Sophie, we were just joking around. Don't be so hard on Noah. Mia is just a girl. Let's not complicate things for her. That's right, just messing around. I glanced at everyone. Complicated? You all know what that means. It wasn't hard for you to make me deliver drinks while I was sick. The group fell silent, then looked at Noah. Look at this. That's enough. I turned, and Noah walked over, grabbing my arm. What's up with you today? We were just joking among bros. Why are you being so uptight? You're ruining the vibe. Mia is just a girl. No need to embarrass her. Noah's friend had turned back to a girl at that moment. Sorry, Sophie. My bad. Mia was crying, tears streaming down. If I knew you two would fight, I wouldn't have insisted on getting those drinks. Oh, so Mia wanted the alcohol after all. My suspicions were confirmed, and I felt utterly drained. I just wanted to leave this ridiculous place. I shook Noah's hand and turned to go. Oh, Sophie, don't be mad. Mia tried to pull me back, but I pushed her away. Ouch! She stumbled and fell weakly into Noah's arms. Noah's anger flared up from her fall. Sophie, stop! He shouted. I turned to see him supporting a distressed Mia, his face dark and bruised. Apologize to Mia. I stopped and looked at his furious face, the one that used to show so much care, now just angry for his friends. If you don't apologize, we're done, he continued. All his buddies in the private room were watching us, enjoying the spectacle. I felt like a circus monkey. Fine, I stepped forward. What? Noah frowned. Oh, Noah, look at you. Mia patted Noah affectionately, her eyes even redder. Why are you making things tough for your girlfriend? What did you say? Noah asked again. Fine, I agree. Let's call it quits. Maybe because I was still a bit dizzy, I realized my house key wasn't in my pocket while sitting in the taxi. It must have fallen in the bar's hallway. I had to go back to find it. Luckily, the bartender found it. As he handed me the key, the door to Noah's private room opened. Mia was helping the drunk Noah towards the restroom. Oh, come on, why are you so mad at your girlfriend? You should take care of yourself too. Noah smiled foolishly and cupped her face. Tell me, why isn't she as sensible as you? She gave me a look that said she was only here to deliver drinks and even wanted to break up. Mia sighed. Well, your girlfriend is kinda unreasonable. You've been so good to her. Other girls would be jealous. But she must have said that in anger. How could she dump a rich second generation like you? She always comes back crying, doesn't she? Rich second generation? Money. Noah paused, thinking maybe she's with him for his money. Sometimes I get really annoyed. Even when she's sick, I don't mind, but she's always so dramatic. Mia sighed. I'm telling you the truth, you just don't listen. Your girlfriend is dramatic because you spoil her. We've all told you to set some boundaries so she wouldn't act like this anymore. Who else can you blame? And stop thinking she's after your money. Look at how she has you wrapped around her finger. Even if she is, you can't bear to break up with her. Don't make yourself unhappy. As they spoke, they entered the accessible restroom, locking the door behind them. My stomach churned again. I turned and walked away. Maybe because I went out for a walk in the evening breeze, I developed a fever overnight. In my dazed state, I dreamed about everything that happened between Noah and me. We grew up together in an orphanage. I was always frail, and Noah was always by my side, chasing away bullies, walking barefoot to find a doctor when I was sick, holding my hand and saying, Sophie, don't worry, I'll take care of you forever. During a fire at the orphanage, even after he was rescued, he rushed back in to save me. His shoulder got burned by a falling ember, leaving a permanent scar. I wondered, what kind of love is stronger than one's own life? With no parents or relatives, Noah was the most important person to me. So I promised myself, Sophie, always be good to Noah. When we turned 16, Noah's biological parents found him. He was the long-lost heir of the Smith family. They took him back, and he suddenly became wealthy. But he didn't forget about me, secretly coming to my high school, bringing me food and medicine, promising we'd attend the same university. We got accepted into the same university and were the most envied couple in college. Mia also entered our lives then, along with a group of good friends. Mia was a bit of a famous internet celeb in the university town, known for her tomboyish vibe. She seemed to have a lot of male friends around her, like brothers. The Smith family had a big presence there, and I, having gone through so much, could see what Noah's friends were after. I reminded Noah multiple times, but he didn't take it seriously. Instead, he loved being surrounded by these stars. After officially dating in college, Noah took me to meet the Smith family. He knelt before his parents and declared he'd only marry me. Noah's birth mother had a kind face and doted on him but was super harsh towards me. In her eyes, I, an unknown orphan, didn't meet the Smith family's standards. When his parents disagreed, Noah stood outside the villa in the rain, soaked all night. The next day, he was hospitalized with pneumonia and a high fever of 40 degrees. I felt bad for Noah. To keep him from being caught between me and his parents, I tried my best to make his mother happy. I endured her troubles, accepted her constant criticism, and was always careful with my words and actions so no one could find fault with me. Over time, she grudgingly accepted me, but every weekend, she'd still call me to the Smith family for her so-called wife counseling. One day, all the Smith family servants had a day off, and I had to serve Noah's mother and her friends alone. I poured tea, washed dishes, and held an umbrella. You know, it's because you lack exercise that you're always feeling sick. Noah's mother would watch me sweat and pant while messing with her freshly done nails. Just do more chores, and you'll be fine. Her friends scrutinized me, saying, She looks weak. Can she even bear children? Mrs. Smith, you should take her for a checkup. It's pointless if she doesn't have a good family background and can't bear children. It's a loss, they'd say. At the Smith household, I felt like a commodity, always being scrutinized and judged by these high and mighty gazes. I didn't tell Noah about all this. I felt sorry for him dealing with the company takeover and didn't want him to worry about me and his family. These things weren't really that important. As long as Noah loved me, protected me, and stood by me unwaveringly, these grievances didn't matter. After college, I got a decent job offer, but the Smith family wouldn't let me take it. Noah and I had a huge fight. He said I was too stubborn. Don't you know how your own body is? He got really angry. I just don't get it. My family let you graduate to be a Smith wife. What are you dissatisfied with? He yelled. Sophie, why are you always so selfish? Do you know how much effort I've put in to make my family accept you? Why can't you understand and empathize with me a little? As he spoke, he started crying. I risked my life to save you that year. Can't you compromise a bit for me? So I compromised again because he had saved my life, been so good to me, and was the only light in my life. Whenever I thought of the past, him doing anything for me, ignoring all obstacles, even his life, seeing the scar on his shoulder from saving me, I found reasons to reconcile with him. I didn't ask for anything else, just hope we could be together forever. And it wasn't until today I realized he thought I didn't leave him because I couldn't bear to part with his money. He was annoyed with me. Today's deliberate test wasn't the first time it happened. Maybe delivering the alcohol was my heart's final straw, the last push. In my dream, tears flowed uncontrollably. The sunny boy from my memories seemed to stand behind me, waving and shouting, Sophie, wait for me, let's go together. But I didn't want to walk with him anymore. I was too tired. Letting the tears flow nonstop, I kept moving forward until the sunset ended. When I looked back, that figure from my memories was washed away by tears, gone without a trace. There was no sign of it anymore. The next day, when I woke up, my fever had gone down. Even though I felt exhausted, I opened my suitcase and started packing my things. At that moment, the apartment door opened, and Mia's voice came through the bedroom door. Noah, we agreed to watch Slam Dunk this afternoon. I'll be wearing Shohoku's team jersey. Noah replied with a simple hum. My hands paused while packing. Today was supposed to be the day Noah promised to take me to meet my biological parents. A week ago, the orphanage contacted me, saying they might have found my biological parents. They wanted a DNA test using hair samples, and today was the day we'd get the results. When I first got the notice, I was nervous and anxious, but Noah promised to be there with me. But in just a few days, he forgot and made plans to watch Slam Dunk with someone else. The bedroom door creaked open. It was Noah. What are you doing, being stubborn again? He frowned at me as I packed. Don't you know how your own body is? I don't have time to go on a trip with you right now. You don't need to accompany me, I said softly. We broke up last night, and I'm moving out today. Hey! He paused, then started laughing suddenly. Sophie, they all say I spoil you too much, but I didn't realize it before. But now, look at what you've become. Threatening to break up on a whim? Are you so sure I can't live without you? He squatted down, pulling my hands away from packing disgustingly. That's enough from you. Wasn't last night enough to show off your power, embarrassing me in front of my friends by making Mia uncomfortable on purpose? Isn't that satisfying enough for you? Anger surged in my chest as I met his gaze. Noah, first of all, I told you I wasn't feeling well, but you insisted I deliver the alcohol. Second, you were the one who kissed Mia first, and she approached me. Third, you were the one who suggested breaking up. I shook off his hand and zipped up my suitcase. I never believed you couldn't live without me, and I'm not incapable of living without you. Is this how you find it meaningful? He raised his voice, causing trouble every day, using your health as an excuse. Do I owe you something? He started losing control. Sophie, don't you know how good I've been to you? I even risked my life for you back then. Last night was just about having you deliver some alcohol to see how genuine your feelings for me are, and now I've found out. He grabbed my arm tightly. Do you know what my brothers say about you behind your back? They all say you're a gold digger, and I'm a fool, and that you're only after my money. Can't you prove them wrong? But what have you done? I've done so much for you. What have you done for me? I wanted to verify things for myself. Is that too much to ask? I stayed silent as his anger intensified. I truly love the wrong person. Is that what you want? You want to break up? Fine, I won't hold you back then. Before you walk out that door, you better think twice. The position of Smith's daughter-in-law won't be kept for just anyone. I looked into his lifeless eyes, dulled by the hangover. Through those eyes, I used to see a beautiful past, mutual support, sweet love, and a promising future. But now, all I saw was desolation. Noah, you've succeeded, I whispered. What? He paused, confused. Noah, you finally succeeded. You've successfully disgusted me with this relationship, and you've made me stop loving you. I left the apartment. Noah didn't follow. I hadn't rented a new place yet, nor did I have a job. I spent half the day at the KFC on the corner, applying light makeup to hide the slight swelling around my eyes from crying all night. Just then, the DNA test results came out. Tonight, I was supposed to meet my biological parents. Noah had previously said that parents who'd abandon a newborn like me were either disgusted by girls or had bad character. Now, coming to find my biological family, they might be after the Smith family's money and resources because they knew about my relationship with Noah. Now that I'd broken up with Noah, I wondered if they'd be disappointed when they saw me. I didn't really know what family truly meant. Noah once said he was my family, and his family was mine too. But around these so-called family members, all I felt was exhaustion and anguish. The sunset today was beautiful, with clouds rolling and unfolding in the sky, bathed in a warm golden glow. I sat by the window, watching the sunset slowly sink, and finally lifted my suitcase, walking out of the KFC. The meeting place was a hotel nearby. I was dragging my heavy suitcase, about to cross the road when suddenly an electric scooter zoomed towards me. In a split second, I couldn't dodge it, but someone behind me grabbed me forcefully, spinning me around along with the suitcase. The scooter sped past, barely grazing the edge of my skirt. "Are you all right?" A pleasant, magnetic male voice called out above my head. I shook my head and quickly thanked him. "It's nothing. This place is full of scooters. Gotta be careful whether you're walking or driving." He chuckled, but his laughter stopped when he saw my face clearly. "You?" he said. "Could it be Sophie?" I was taken aback. "I'm Sophie, and you are?" "I'm your cousin's cousin," he smiled. "You look just like Aunt Sally." "Do we even need a DNA test for this? The Parkers have been too cautious after being deceived. They're overly careful. But there have been quite a few fraudsters who had plastic surgery and came searching for relatives before. It couldn't be helped," he sighed. "Let's go." He eagerly grabbed my suitcase. "The Parkers have too many prying eyes, so meeting at a hotel under the Joneses' name today is for your protection. I've cleared the people, so don't worry." "You mentioned the Parkers and the Jones," I said. He paused, then exclaimed, "Ah, forget it. You don't know yet. You're the only daughter of the Parker Group's second son. I'm Ryan from the Jones Group." Before I could fully comprehend, I was already standing at the hotel entrance with Ryan. A group of people was anxiously waiting at the door, looking our way. At that moment, a beautiful lady rushed over and hugged me tightly. "Is it Sophie? Is it my Sophie?" She held my face in her hands, tears streaming down. "It's really my child, Jerry. Our child has come back." A tall, well-built man approached, his eyes red. "Yes, our child has returned." I looked at the face in front of me, resembling mine by about 70%, and my eyes welled up with tears. "Uncle Jerry, Aunt Sally, let's go inside first," Ryan whispered beside us. Once inside the VIP lounge, my biological mother held my hand tightly the entire time. I could feel her hand trembling slightly. Today, the orphanage director and the police were also present. They explained how they found me. After Sally gave birth to me, she hired a nanny named Linda. Sally fell ill for a while after my birth, and Linda, taking advantage of Sally's poor health, tried to seduce my biological father, Jerry, thinking she had some charm. Jerry didn't fall for it, and Linda, feeling humiliated, snuck back after being fired and took me away. At that time, technology wasn't as advanced, and even though the Parkers were wealthy, they searched for a long time, but couldn't find Linda. It wasn't until 6 months later that the police found Linda's clothes, shoes, and socks for the baby on an undeveloped beach, along with a farewell letter she left behind. In the letter, she said since she couldn't have Jerry, she wanted to make sure he would never forget her. So she took her child and died together. The police later found Linda's body in the sea, but they never found me. They speculated I might have been eaten by fish. Over the years, most people assumed I had long been dead, but my parents never gave up. Jerry and Sally never had another child. They held on to a glimmer of hope, searching and waiting. But Linda didn't actually kill me back then. Maybe it was the last trace of goodness in her heart, or perhaps she wanted to cruelly satisfy some of her own desires. She left me at the entrance of an orphanage in a neighboring county, along with a note saying my name was Sophie Turner. Because my mother was unmarried when she got pregnant, she couldn't keep the child. Later, that orphanage caught fire, and all the children were moved to an orphanage in a coastal city called Sea City. But because my background was documented and my birth mother had the surname Turner, no one ever thought I could be the daughter of the Parker family, the young miss who had supposedly died shortly after birth. For so many years, my biological parents and I lived in the same city, yet we never saw each other. Until recently, during a charity event organized by the Jones family, Ryan, the CEO, was chatting with the former director of my previous orphanage and mentioned the big fire from years ago. The director pulled out a group photo of the children from back then, and Ryan noticed I looked just like a younger version of Sally when she was a child star. He had his doubts and shared this with the Parker family. After dealing with numerous imposters claiming to be their long-lost child and people bribing hospitals to forge DNA reports to inherit Jerry and Sally's fortune, the Parkers had become wary of any potential reunions. So this time, they were as anxious as I was, but dared not have any expectations. Despite their eagerness to see me, they held back, fearing that the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. That evening, I returned home with my parents. Uncle and my cousin's family were also there. Mom held my hand and softly asked, "Sophie, we heard from the orphanage director that you were dating the young master from the Smith family. Is that true?" I hesitated. "Your father and I don't mean anything else," she quickly added, "even though the Smith family isn't as well off as ours. If you like him, we support you." I shook my head. "Dad, Mom, we've already broken up." Dad asked what I wanted to do next and if I was interested in learning to manage the company. I hesitated. "I don't have much work experience. I'm afraid I don't have the ability." "Sophie just came back. What's the rush?" Mom immediately complained. That night, I slept with my mother. I slept lightly, knowing she woke up several times in the night, gently stroking my hair and quietly sobbing. The next morning, Dad personally made breakfast for me, watching me eat with red eyes, carefully asking if it suited my taste. In these few days since I returned home, I felt a sense of family and love I had never experienced before. They were all trying their best to make up for me, but I knew they had probably suffered more than me over the years. A few days later, cousin David found me, and Ryan was there too. David said my dad's health hadn't been good in recent years. The mental torment of searching for me for many years and the pressure of work were like two mountains weighing on him, and the doctor had long recommended he retire and rest. I had already noticed from his grainy temples that although he was 5 years younger than Uncle, he looked much older. "Sophie, the Parker family now has two major business sectors, one with me and the other with your second uncle. Eventually, your second uncle's part will be handed over to you," David asked. "Are you willing to learn?" I lowered my head, thought for a long time, and finally nodded. "I'm willing to give it a try." David breathed a sigh of relief, and Ryan, who had been silent, suddenly spoke up. "I think it's not a good idea to put her directly into the Parker family." David looked up. "Why not? The Parkers are astute. She looks so much like Aunt Sally. Do you think people can't guess her identity? Gossip is one thing, but work and personal relationships aren't conducive to her learning." David furrowed his brow. "You make a valid point then. Helping someone to the end is like sending Buddha to the West." Ryan smiled. He walked over. "How about going to my place if you really want to learn about company management? The Jones family is no smaller than the Parker family." So, after getting my parents' consent, I started working at Jones & Company. Wasn't I supposed to go to the business department? On my first day, I stood in Ryan's spacious office, staring blankly at my temporary ID card. It boldly stated, "Office of the CEO." "Why go to the business department to learn?" Ryan said as he signed some documents. "What you need to learn is how to manage a company," he explained. "So what does that mean? Of course, you have to learn from the best teacher." "The best teacher? Who?" I was puzzled. He lifted his head from a pile of papers and grinned. "Of course, it's me." Ryan seemed like a playboy at first glance. He was passionate about cars, collecting various luxury vehicles. He even built a garage at his house for this purpose and participated in racing competitions. He loves sports, playing basketball for at least an hour every evening at the company's court. His consistent workout gave him a great physique: broad shoulders, narrow waist, and long, slender legs. I heard many female employees stayed overtime just to watch him play basketball. But as you spent more time with him, you'd realize these were just surface level traits. He was an incredibly talented manager. After becoming his assistant, I followed him in negotiations, meetings, and client interactions. He appeared casual but always pinpointed the other party's weaknesses amidst the cheerful atmosphere. He seemed indifferent to many things but always had control over the big picture, effortlessly navigating through it. Unlike my serious cousin David, he rarely worked overtime. Besides regular business dinners, he hardly drank alcohol or smoked. After intense negotiations, he would review the entire process with me, simulate different scenarios, and let me come up with my own solutions. He'd also ask me to write meeting agendas before our meetings and highlight key points. His observation skills were sharp, and whenever he noticed me feeling tired, he'd tell me to rest. At first, I insisted I could endure it, but he'd say, "No need. Why insist when you're tired?" He smiled, quoting a philosopher, "Rest is for walking a longer path." "Who said that?" I widened my eyes. He blinked. I forgot his name, but it makes sense. Being around Ryan was relaxing and comfortable, with subtle guidance and enlightenment hidden within. He never pressured anyone, but was skilled at guiding them. The constant tension and stress in my heart seemed to ease under his influence. Being with him, I truly learned a lot and grew quickly. But at the same time, his brilliance made me doubt myself. Can I really do it? Can I truly achieve that level? Soon, a month passed amidst the busyness. On this day at noon, I unexpectedly ran into Noah and Mia at the Jones & Company shopping mall. Ryan's birthday was next week, and I wanted to pick a gift for him as a token of gratitude for his help. But the truth is, he doesn't lack anything. Even this mall belongs to him. After searching and considering, I finally chose to make a handmade red prayer rope. In the end, it's the thought that counts. While passing by a few luxury brand counters, I suddenly heard Mia's voice. "You should buy this perfume for Auntie. She'll definitely love it." Since it was lunchtime and the mall was quiet, the sound of high heels clicking was quite noticeable. When I turned around, both Noah and Mia, standing next to the counter, saw me at the same time. Noah seemed a bit sluggish, but there was a spark in his eyes when he saw me. "Sophie." Mia glanced at Noah, then looked at the bag I was carrying and immediately walked over with a smile. "Sophie, are you also here to buy a birthday gift for Auntie?" she exclaimed. "This gift won't do. Buy something more upscale, something Auntie will like." Noah's chin lifted slightly upon hearing Mia's words. "Where have you been for the past month?" He frowned. "Don't think I'll forgive you just because you made a rope." As he spoke, his gaze fell on my name tag. "What's this? CEO's office?" My temporary name tag had no name on it. Mia read the few words on my name tag, word by word, covering her mouth as she laughed. "Sophie, why did you come to work as a receptionist at Jones & Company? Temporary worker?" Noah's brow furrowed even more. "Where I work is none of your business," I said calmly, turning to leave. "Sophie, you're not being fair." Mia stepped forward and held on to me, looking up at Noah with a pained expression. "You shouldn't ignore Noah like this." At that moment, Noah spoke up. "Mia, wait for me over there." Mia paused, reluctantly walking away. Noah approached, snatching the gift box from my hand. "Why work as a receptionist? Are you trying to embarrass our family?" he angrily questioned. "Stop playing around. Move back in quickly. It's been so long since you last went home. Mom is angry. She's asked me several times, saying you don't answer calls or come back. I told her you haven't been feeling well lately, so she didn't say much more." "Do you have to make a scene before you're satisfied? What are you going to do if Mom won't let you back in? Do you think she'll forgive you just because you made this cheap red rope?" I snatched the box back, interrupting him coldly. "We broke up. How many times do I have to say it? The red rope is for someone else. It has nothing to do with your mother." But he still held onto my hand. "Why are you being so stubborn? What a coincidence, right? Let go of me, Sophie." I turned around to see Ryan walking over with another assistant. Noah saw Ryan and froze for a moment. "You're from Jones. Mr. Jones? Ryan turned his head, looking at him indifferently. You are? I'm Noah from Smith. My parents have contacted you before. They wanted to collaborate with Jones in daily necessities to become your company's distributor. Our bidding for this year has already ended. Ryan smiled politely. If your company is interested, you can bid again next year. Ryan, please reconsider our company. Noah looked flustered. My parents know you like cars. They want to invite you. Noah, my personal preferences have nothing to do with company decisions. Ryan interrupted him. Ryan, the receptionist at your company, Sophie, is Noah's girlfriend. Mia, who knew when she came over, suddenly shouted. Everyone was stunned. Noah looked at Mia in confusion, while Mia approached with a smile. President Ryan, Noah really means it. To impress you, he asked Sophie to become the receptionist at your company. It's up to you to give Smith and Company a chance. Right, Sophie? She exclaimed. Ryan paused and looked at me. I am his ex-girlfriend, I corrected. Ryan, the president. And he quickly caught on to Mia's intentions and smiled broadly. Sophie and you are just playing around. We haven't broken up. She came here today specifically to buy a birthday gift for my mom. Sophie doesn't know much, but if she caused any trouble, please forgive her. But we genuinely want to get to know you. It's been so many years, and Jones and Company hasn't collaborated with Smith and Company. We find it a pity. I'm not asking about ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends. Ryan ignored him and turned to me directly. When did you become my receptionist? Before I could speak, Mia interjected. Sophie, this is still fake, right? Forging an employee badge, this. Noah's face darkened. Ryan, the president, actually, I understand what Noah means. Discussing cooperation, right? Ryan waved his hand. Talk to my assistant about that. Noah's face lit up with excitement. Great. So, who is your assistant? My assistant. Ryan looked at me. Since you two already know each other, I won't introduce her. With that, he reminded us, but she's very busy, so remember to make an appointment in advance. When Ryan and I left, Noah and Mia were still standing there. They looked thunderstruck. Why did you make me talk to him? I asked, after explaining my relationship with Noah. He pondered for a moment. I heard from David that Aunt Sally wanted to give you the golf club under Parker's name, but you declined. I nodded. Parker's Golf Club was actually a high-end gathering place for socialites in our hometown. There were certain criteria for membership, and my mother had been the club president. These ladies are quite sharp, and I was a bit afraid I wouldn't handle them well. He pondered again. So it's a good opportunity for you to practice. Huh? I said. I wanted you to handle Smith and Company for 2 reasons. First, I wanted you to have a chance to practice. I've seen the materials submitted by Smith and Company before, and they're well packaged but have hidden flaws. This is an opportunity for you to spot them. Consider it a little test for us. And second, that Noah, he's your ex-boyfriend. So what? I didn't quite understand. You used to be a lot like my sister. He sighed softly. Girls tend to unknowingly give too much in relationships and end up getting hurt too much. Although I don't know the reason for your breakup, judging from his behavior just now, he doesn't seem like a considerate boyfriend. So, I'm giving you full authority in this matter. If you want to meet him, go ahead. If you don't, then don't. If you can detach yourself emotionally and negotiate with your ex-boyfriend, nothing else will be difficult for you in the future. Sure thing. If you're struggling to pull yourself away emotionally, go ahead and make things harder for him. It's your call. Is that cool? I widened my eyes. By handing me this power, aren't you being partial? I asked again. What's the big deal? He laughed. Didn't David fill you in? I'm the type to always back my family, no matter the reason. I paused for a second. Does this mean I'm using borrowed authority? Do you think I'm raising a fox? I wondered aloud. He lifted an eyebrow. Nah, I'm raising a little tiger. A few days later, Noah set up a meeting and sat across from me looking serious. I didn't really want to make things tough for him like Ryan had suggested. Keeping my emotions in check was a valuable lesson. I approached the talk professionally and began addressing the issues with the materials, but he cut me off out of nowhere. How did you end up as Ryan's assistant? He demanded. I hesitated for a moment before softly replying, Mr. Noah, we're discussing business here. What have you betrayed? His voice rose. What? I was stunned. Landing a job at Jones' company from the ground up was tough. You haven't had a job since graduation, so how'd you suddenly become his assistant? His eyes reddened, and he grabbed me roughly. I saved you when you were desperate, protected, and loved you all these years, just for you to cozy up with another guy? Let go, I frowned. I'm not letting go. He stubbornly held me tight, pulling me into his embrace. Have you forgotten? You're mine. You've always been mine. Ryan, what right does he have to you? Did he ever save you? He's just a bit richer than me. Sophie, open your eyes. He can have any woman he wants. He's just messing with you. When he gets tired, he'll dump you like trash. No one can treat you better than me. Wake up, Noah. Let go. Let's quit our jobs and get married after Mom's birthday. Even if we piss off Jones' company, we won't do any business with them again. Noah, I pushed his hand away. He turned his head, his eyes already swollen. I really love you. Why can't you get it? I looked at him calmly. We've already broken up. Why don't you get it? What breakup? We just argued, he retorted. I shook my head. Noah, it's not that you don't understand. You're just used to it. Over the years, every time we fought and talked about breaking up, I always ended up back with you. But this time, it's different, I said, handing back the documents. I've noted the problems with Smith & Company's business there. It's unlikely to meet Jones' Company's standards. Just like us, we can't go back. It's simply not feasible. After Noah left, I sat alone in the conference room for a long while. The words "can't go back" spoken aloud hit me hard, just as they did him. The guy I once looked up to has reached this point today. My phone buzzed with a message from Noah. I know I messed up. It was my fault for drinking too much that day and having you bring the wine. Later, I found fever medicine on your bedside and realized you were really sick. Sophie, I don't care about whatever you had with Ryan during this time. As long as you come back to me, I want you. Come back. If you ignore me, I'll still find you. Keep looking until you change your mind. Sophie, after all these years, you can't just let me go. Finally, he sent a photo. It was a scar on his shoulder. Suddenly, I felt so irritated, like a lump of soaked cotton choking my throat. That old feeling of not being able to breathe returned. I added Noah to my blacklist. The sun was setting, and outside the floor-to-ceiling windows, the city lights were starting up, showing a lively scene. So, you're here. The door opened, and I turned around. It was Ryan. He approached me. Did you meet with Noah today? Didn't go well? I nodded. Yeah, I tried to keep it professional, but emotions still got the best of me. That's normal. You're already doing awesome. He nodded. After all, you're not a robot, but in a managerial role, many people will try to sway your emotions and choices down the line. It's a test you need to pass. I know. But if your brother finds out you're pissed off because of my work, he might want to kill me. He chuckled, heading towards the door. So, for my sake, today's work is done. Next, Ryan will take you out to have some fun. Ryan somehow got 2 bikes and took me for a ride on a summer night, weaving through streets and alleys, indulging in all sorts of street foods. At each stop, I felt like a little animal being fed, munching on stinky tofu, fish cakes, fried treats, chicken skewers. The cool night breeze fluttered my hair as I watched Ryan across from me, seeing me eat. I couldn't help but ask, why do I feel like you don't have many worries? How could I not have any? He grinned, casually tucking my loose hair behind my ear. I have plenty of worries, I admitted. He talked about taking over Jones' company recently. During my inauguration speech, my palms were sweating, my voice shaky. The board members were all my grandfather's age, real sly folks. I was stressed, hoping to earn everyone's approval. I even dreamt about meetings in the middle of the night. Then I realized I didn't need their approval. I just needed to be myself, make myself happy, and they'd follow naturally, but abilities have limits. I lowered my head. I've never been great at socializing since I was young. My poor health kept me alone a lot. I'm different from you. He shook his head. No, you can do it. Want to give it a shot? He took me to a basketball court with colorful lights, just the two of us. I'd never played basketball before and was no sports star, but he said he'd teach me how to shoot. Like this, raise your hand. Aim, here we go. He patiently adjusted my movements repeatedly, acting like a real coach. Why do you like playing basketball? I couldn't help but ask out of curiosity. Because playing basketball is cool. He adjusted my stance again. Have you seen Slam Dunk? I shook my head. I always thought anime heroes and drama leads were great at basketball, so I practiced hard, picturing myself as one of them. But later, basketball became my main way to relieve stress. The thrilling competition and battles make you forget other worries and focus on the now. I tried shooting another ball, and it clanged in. I couldn't help but cheer happily and high-fived him, so basketball became my daily workout. He continued with a smile, but it's not about being a drama lead anymore, since my name doesn't really fit that role. Your name? I asked. He tossed the ball to me. When I was born, I cried a lot. My mom wanted me to toughen up, so she named me Ryan. Huh? Where's the toughness? I patted the ball absent-mindedly. He froze. I froze too. The cool breeze blew, and holding the basketball felt like holding a burning coal. After a bit, he chuckled lightly. Can you drive? I don't drive, I shot back. He couldn't help but laugh and cry. I meant, can you drive my car? The drink I bought earlier at the court has alcohol. My face instantly turned red. Sophie, you might as well just hide in the cracks of this basketball court. I can, but I haven't really driven much, I stuttered. Noah used to say my health wasn't great, so he never let me drive. Thinking of Noah, I realized that since I started seeing Ryan, I hadn't thought about him at all. Ryan called his driver to bring the car and took me to a suburban drive-in theater. The movie was Slam Dunk. When I was a kid, I loved Hanamichi Sakuragi the most, and that's still true, he said softly after it ended. This movie has mixed reviews, and I don't get why they chose Sendo as the main character. I have some regrets, but I understand the creator. We all want to be geniuses like Sakuragi, but most of us, like Sendo, have to work our way up from being ordinary. Oh, as long as we stay true to ourselves, work hard, and never give up, there'll be chances for a game-winning shot. Even if we don't score, just stepping onto the court is something we won't regret, right? The big screen played the ending song, and suddenly I grasped the meaning behind his words. Thanks for today, I whispered. I'm actually pretty sensitive and observant. I noticed that everything that seemed casual tonight was carefully planned by him. He did all this to help me regain my confidence, to break free from the emotional chaos, and to escape the cage I had built for myself. You're too easily moved, man. You'll get fooled by guys like this. I'm grateful. Why are you killing the vibe? I widened my eyes, pouting, and said indignantly, It's because I feel like you care about me and my well-being. He raised an eyebrow. A gust of wind blew, leaves rustled. He opened his mouth to say something, but I couldn't hear him clearly. Well, I just care about the ones I like, he finally said. The next day, I told my mom I was willing to take over the golf club. I wanted to give it a shot. She was thrilled and quickly arranged everything. That day at the club, my assistant mentioned someone outside looking for me. Me? Yes, Mrs. Smith had heard the club was being handed over to Miss, and she came with a gift, insisting on seeing Miss. I furrowed my brow. Sure enough, outside stood Noah's mother, holding a box, her fake smile disappearing the moment she saw me. Sophie, what are you doing here? I widened my eyes. Mia had told me a few days ago that I was climbing the social ladder with the Jones family, and I didn't believe it. Who's this random guy you're with? I've long told my son that you're no good, she sneered, even pulling out a camera to snap photos. Now I've caught you red-handed. Don't think just because you're with a man, you can join this club. This club isn't easy to get into. It's not for just anyone. I remained calm, sitting at the tea table, pouring myself a cup of tea. Indeed, it's not for just anyone. Otherwise, Mrs. Smith, you wouldn't have submitted 10 applications and none got approved. What did you say? She raised her hand in frustration. Sophie, let me tell you, with your current behavior, I will never agree to you joining the Smith family in the future. Joining the Smith family? I sipped my tea leisurely. Mrs. Smith, maybe you should consider why you can't get into this club. Just then, the assistant came over with Noah's mother's application and materials. Oh, it's Assistant Zhao. Has Miss Parker not come out yet? Noah's mother quickly put on a smile. The assistant looked at me, then at Noah's mother. Isn't this Miss Parker right here? What? Her smile froze. She looked at me, then at the assistant. Assistant Zhao, you're joking now. What joke am I making with you? The assistant was puzzled. Our miss is pretty busy today, and we specially made time for you to interview. Miss, she turned to me, do you need any more documents? No, that's not necessary. I threw the documents on the table, stood up. The interview is over. Wait a minute. After a moment, Noah's mother seemed to realize something and hurriedly grabbed my sleeve. Sophie, she forced a smile. Look at this misunderstanding. It turns out we're all family. I pulled my hand away from her grip. Mrs. Smith, have you forgotten what you just said? You outright refused to let me join the Smith family. Oh, what are you saying? We've been together for so long, I already consider you my own daughter. I'm sorry. A cold voice came from behind, but my mom had no intention of acknowledging her as you. I turned around. Mom? My mom gracefully walked over, but there was a chill around her. Mrs. Smith, right? The mother of my daughter's ex-boyfriend, who made my daughter come to your house every week to serve tea and water. That's you, isn't it? Noah's mother froze. It's a misunderstanding, all a misunderstanding. I treated Sophie as my daughter-in-law. My daughter from the Parker family won't serve tea and water at anyone's house, no matter who she marries. My mom, already taller than Noah's mother, looked down at her like a queen. Of course, if this is a Smith family tradition and Mrs. Smith is willing to come to the club every day to hold an umbrella and serve tea, I might think about giving you a lower-tier membership based on your performance. Noah's mother stuttered and finally fled with the gift in hand. Check if any of the ladies she hangs out with have memberships at our club. If they do, cancel them all. After instructing this, my mom turned to me and tightly embraced me. Sophie, it's all Mom's fault. If only I had found you a few years earlier, you wouldn't have suffered. I shook my head and hugged her tightly as well. In reality, I had already obtained the most precious thing in the world. After all, what could be more valuable than having a family who always stands by you? Those distant people and things didn't matter anymore. I just hoped to grow up quickly and become their support in the future. Because of being busy with the golf club, I hadn't been to Jones's for 2 weeks. After lunch with my mom, I went to Jones's. When I arrived, I noticed everyone in the president's office whispering. You don't know yet, Sophie? Aunt Lou whispered to me. We're all talking about that temp worker. A while back, we needed someone to organize the files, so we hired a few temps from an outsourcing company. One of the female workers is something else. Whenever she's free, she rushes to the president's office, dressed so provocatively, making those drivers go crazy. And that's not all. This woman keeps approaching President Ryan, bringing coffee to his office, like Ryan's falling for her tricks. Aunt Lou clicked her tongue. She probably thought that since President Ryan doesn't have a girlfriend, his taste must be different. Looks like he can't resist her either. Just then, the president's office door opened. Aunt Lou signaled for me to be quiet and nodded in that direction. Ryan came out first, followed by a blushing Mia. When Ryan saw me, he waved. Sophie, perfect timing. Let's go have dinner with the clients. I hesitated for a moment, then walked up. Mia glanced at me and quickly took a few steps forward, securing her spot next to Ryan. Silence filled the air as we made our way, only the cheerful sound of Mia's high heels accompanying us. Once we got to the restaurant's private room, Mia confidently sat next to Ryan and sweetly asked, President Ryan, can we order some king crab later? Ryan smiled. We'll order the main dishes when the guests arrive. Just then, the door opened, and both Mia and I froze. It was Noah. Mia? Noah looked just as shocked. What are you doing here? Mia paused, but Ryan cut her off. Let's start with the food. Suddenly, the TV in the private room turned on. The screen showed Ryan's office, with Mia attentively placing a cup of coffee in front of him. Aren't you friends with President Noah? Placing a cup of coffee in front of him? Aren't you friends with President Noah? I'm actually not that close to President Noah. He was chasing me, but I didn't accept. After all, Sophie and he are a couple, and I don't get involved in other people's business. Plus, I don't like him. Ryan, to be honest, I don't really approve of Noah's character. The way he clung to you in the mall last time was super embarrassing. Smith still has some core tech. Didn't they recently apply for a patent for a secret technology? Ryan, Mia said calmly, if you're interested in Smith's technology, I can help you. The screen went blank at this point. Smith, I can help you. The screen went blank at this point. Ryan threw a sealed envelope onto the table across from him. I hadn't opened it yet, so I didn't know if it was legit or not. The truth is, Shushi could easily do this tech. But our aspirations were different, and we weren't interested. He touched the red string I had given him and calmly said, if Mia was sent intentionally by President Noah, then I admire President Noah's cunning. However, President Noah probably doesn't know me well. I'm not particularly into this type of beauty. If Mia wasn't sent by President Noah, then I also admire President Noah's courage. He can give away something he relies on for his livelihood so easily. I can't do that. Neither can I compare. Noah held on to the envelope tightly and finally managed to speak after a while. I didn't send her to Jones's, and today I thank President Ryan for returning the envelope. No need to thank. Let's consider it a debt of gratitude. You, as the president, how could you do something like recording a video? Mia's voice trembled. Ryan smiled. What? You don't even know what kind of person I am or what equipment I have in my office, yet you dare come and talk to me? Besides, my mother taught me from a young age to never drink anything brought by strangers. He turned to Noah with a half smile. Okay, everything that needed to be said has been said, President Noah. How you and your brother handle things afterwards is none of my business. But take this advice. Eat your fill and be careful about making friends in the future. Mia's face stiffened as she turned towards Noah. I'm not... Shut up! Noah's voice trembled with anger. Ryan stood up and pulled me along to leave. President Ryan, do you know that she deceived you? Mia suddenly stood, yelling. Sophie is a deceitful woman. She cheated Noah out of his money before, and now she's cheating you. You've been blinded by her. You're truly a fool, you know that? Ryan paused and chuckled lightly. Is that so? He turned around. If it's her, then I'm actually willing. Mia looked at him in disbelief. And at that moment, Noah's phone rang. Mom, can we talk about this later? What? You're saying Sophie's parents are who? He turned his head to look at me, his hand holding the phone slightly trembling. After hanging up, he seemed dazed. No, it can't be true. My mom said you're the daughter of the Parkers, but Sophie, you're not a Turner, right? Parker. Daughter? The rumored heiress of the Parkers, who was supposed to inherit half the family fortune? Mia froze too. Is there a mistake? My surname is Turner. I haven't been Turner for a long time, I said softly. My name is Parker. Sophie Parker. After leaving the private room, I could faintly hear Mia crying and their argument. There seemed to be glass-breaking sounds too. I frowned and called the hotel manager over. Go check what they've damaged and make them pay for it all. In the afternoon, Ryan accompanied me to the car dealership to pick up my new SUV. David and Rose came along too. You're bringing my sister into the wild? David joked with Ryan. This car is too much for an average girl to handle. She picked it herself, didn't she? Ryan raised an eyebrow. At best, I'm just her training partner. In the evening, the Parkers hosted a business dinner, mainly to introduce me to the business community in Haichung. Everything went smoothly, but during the media interview segment, there was suddenly a commotion at the entrance. It was Noah's mother. Noah has committed suicide. I beg you, Miss Parker. Noah risked his life to save you back then. She rushed in, kneeling before me in front of all the reporters. If you don't want him now that you're back in the wealthy family, he will truly die for you. Noah's mother wailed, and reporters started snapping photos, causing chaos. In the lounge, my family and Ryan were present. Sophie, don't worry. You don't need to go to the hospital. Mom and Dad will take care of it, my dad said. We've informed the media, so no photos will be leaked today, David added. Sophie, you've had a long day. Why don't you rest for a while? I looked up and locked eyes with Ryan sitting across from me. I shook my head. Dad, brother, since I'm going to take over Parker's business, I shouldn't rely on you to solve problems anymore. This started because of me, so I'll handle it myself. Despite that, my family insisted on coming with me to the hospital. In the hospital room, Noah lay pale on the bed. As soon as he saw me, he grabbed my wrist. "Sophie," he cried, tears streaming down his face. "I knew you'd come. You wouldn't abandon me. Noah, you said you couldn't live without me. Was it all for the Parker family's money?" He froze. "What? What are you saying?" He seemed deeply hurt. "How could you think that of me, Sophie? How could my feelings for you be related to the Parker family's money?" "So you knew saying something like that would hurt," I said. Silence filled the room. He suddenly became flustered. "Sophie, I slowly unraveled his fingers from mine. "Noah, I came here to make you understand that we're truly over. Do you know why I've often felt suffocated all these years? Why I couldn't catch my breath?" He stared at me, dumbfounded. Because in this relationship, I always felt suffocated. Suffocated by love and pressure-filled affection. Suffocated by doubts and tests. Suffocated by countless moments of disappointment and despair. Suffocated by endless internal conflicts. Suffocated by my own fragility and unwillingness. Do you still not get it? I used to convince myself that everything you did was for my good. But love isn't about imprisonment, repayment, or constant suspicion. True love doesn't require tests or demand equal reciprocation. It needs unconditional trust and willingly giving of oneself and Torhain. When you doubted our love because of some words from others, when you kept ambiguous relationships with other girls, despite knowing it, when you kept blaming the breakdown of our relationship on me, that's when we ended. That's the main reason we couldn't be together. So you wanted to break up with me a long time ago, didn't you? His voice trembled with tears. I know you don't love me as much, but I love you more than my own life. Yes, Noah's mother suddenly burst into the room, crying out, My son saved you! Who else in this world could be better for you than him? You can't be heartless. My father and uncle stepped forward, blocking Noah's mother. Noah, you always claimed you saved Sophie's life, but we checked the records from that year. It's true you rushed in, but as soon as you arrived, you encountered the 2 firefighters who had already rescued Sophie. At that time, Sophie was unconscious. When she woke up, you told her that you saved her, deliberately hiding the existence of those 2 firefighters. Due to the chaos back then, and later when you both left for the seaside welfare home, you kept this incident hidden. You were just scared of her leaving you, using this incident to make her feel grateful and guilty towards you. Noah's mother stood still, shocked. What? How is that possible? My son wouldn't lie. We found the 2 firefighters. Do you want us to bring them here to talk to your son? My uncle said coldly. My father took a few steps forward and spoke in a deep voice. Today my daughter didn't want me to come, but I came to tell the Smith family a few words. Sophie is my daughter. During all these years she was away from home, I prayed countless times, hoping she'd meet someone who truly loves her. Noah, maybe your desire to save Sophie's life back then was genuine. As a father, I appreciate that. But how your Smith family treated my daughter all these years, don't you have any self-awareness about that? Our Parker family values compassion and kindness towards others. Sophie inherited that. She understands gratitude, reason, and is sensible and kind. But that doesn't give you the right to deceive and mistreat her. If the Smith family really wants to discuss this matter, then let's sit down and thoroughly go through the events of these years, one by one. How you have bullied my daughter, even stopping her from finding work. Do you really think we're unaware of it? No, that's not true, Noah's mother said with a tearful voice. She's not in good health, and Noah wanted her to rest at home. Not in good health. David and Ryan entered the room. Since my sister came back home, her health has been perfectly fine. We also want to know how this relationship has been so torturous that it's caused her previously healthy body to have frequent issues. Ryan turned to face Noah. Noah, you've always been scared to face the truth because you're a coward who's afraid. Afraid that even if you break her wings, you still can't keep her. That you don't deserve her. But she was never a little bird that could be kept in a cage. How can a soaring eagle be confined by a cage? I didn't say anything and stepped forward. Noah, stop messing with your life. This is my last visit. Next time, whether you live or die, It won't have anything to do with me. Goodbye. I turned around and left. Noah's mother collapsed to the ground, murmuring how this could happen, while Noah, until we left, sat silently on the edge of the bed. Afterward, I had my company's PR team shut down the gossip media's speculative reports about me and Noah, and I released a statement. The Smith family tried reaching out to the Parker family a few times, but my family and I ignored them. I was busy learning how to manage Parker's companies and also took on some smaller industries one after another. Just like breaking through solid ice, seeing the vast ocean where I could swim freely, the first success was often followed by the second and third. I didn't try to please anyone, just focused on being myself. Gradually, I saw genuine respect and recognition from my colleagues at the company. I didn't want to be a fragile princess in a greenhouse. What I aimed for was to be a competent President Parker. So, what if I had a different background? So, what if I'm a girl? Nervously and excitedly, I took on one challenge after another, striving to reach even greater heights. I'm grateful for my parents, who wholeheartedly love and support me, making me a better person than I ever imagined. And of course, there's that person. That night, Ryan asked me to go to the basketball court with him. Now I can make 3-point shots. While resting on the side of the court, he somehow pulled out a bouquet of fiery red flowers. I've actually been wanting to tell you. He looked a bit nervous. You know, your name and my sister's name actually go together quite well, Sophie and Rose. Combined, it becomes Sophie Rose. It sounds beautiful. Like a family? Huh. He sighed. I knew this confession might be a bit cliché, but it's also my first time telling a girl. I've been thinking about it for days. I stared at him, confused. Speaking of which, when your cousin tricked my sister into being with him, all those years ago, I actually helped him in secret. At that time, I didn't really understand what it meant to be moved, and I couldn't grasp why your cousin would wait for my sister for so long. Now, it's my turn, and I realize that being moved isn't something you can control, so, you want to deceive my sister too? Both Ryan and I froze, following the sound of the voice. David and Rose also arrived at the side of the court. No, bro, I'm confessing. Can't you let me finish? Are you repaying kindness with resentment? Ryan said angrily. When my sister was with you back then, how much effort did I put in? He continued. Yeah, David walked over. Thanks to you, Rose and I missed out on so many years before we got together. Damn, you really hold grudges. Anyway, I have to be responsible for my sister. David walked over. Let me talk to you first, bro. Sophie, I know Ryan better, David said. Although he may seem unreliable and unreasonable sometimes, he's actually very protective and trustworthy. Well, at least you're being somewhat fair. But when it comes to matters of the heart, it's still important to think carefully, David added. Especially when accepting a marriage proposal, you need to be cautious. Ryan remained silent. It's better not to agree too quickly. It's okay to make him wait a bit longer. David. Ryan raised his fist, but the next second, he turned to me, looking pitiful. Sophie, my stomach hurts. What? I was startled, about to approach, but David suddenly stopped me. Are you trying to deceive my sister right in front of me? Do you think I don't exist, and can you stop stealing my lines? David crossed his arms. Stomachache is our CEO trademark. Can't you be more original? Ryan jumped up in anger. No, which CEO doesn't have a stomachache? I can be sunny, lively, and enthusiastic, but I can also have these kinds of ailments. I watched the two of them battling and suddenly laughed. Bro, thank you. I turned my head to look at Ryan. Ryan, the old me was always hesitant, lacking confidence in myself. But just like how you taught me to play basketball, you have to bravely lift the ball first, try, and then you have a chance to score, right? A good partner won't keep you stuck in one place or trap you in a cage, they'll walk alongside you. So, I think so too. I smiled. Sophie Rose, it really sounds like a family. That night at the basketball court, Ryan set off a bunch of fireworks. I quietly leaned against his shoulder, watching the sky fill with vibrant colors. When David and Rose were about to leave, Ryan, with his hands in his pockets, stopped David. There's something else I haven't mentioned. What are you planning to do about the Smith family? I originally didn't plan to bother with that clown anymore, but without giving him a lesson, he might not learn and keep being a nuisance in the future. A lesson, huh? David looked up and glanced at the sky. The wind is picking up, he whispered. So what? What about it? The two of them stood side by side, looking up at the sky together. Bankrupting the Smith family? At that moment, Rose, who was standing nearby, twitched the corner of her mouth. She leaned in and whispered softly, "My husband has recently started reading BL novels, and it seems like my brother is into them too. When they have free time, they even discuss their thoughts and feelings about the books. What should I do? Now it's even becoming a plot." We exchanged a glance and couldn't help but laugh. The CEO who reads novels. It's freaking hilarious. The Smith family's financial scandal quickly made headlines. During the investigation into the Smith family, more issues were uncovered. Counterfeit goods and substandard products were exposed one after another. The Smith family's financial chain broke, and no bank was willing to lend them money anymore. Those who commit many injustices will meet their downfall, Ryan sighed. David and I simply highlighted the good deeds the Smith family has done over the years. Their fate is now determined by deceived consumers. Occasionally, I'd hear news about Noah and Mia from my old university classmates. After the Smith family's downfall, all of Noah's close friends cut ties with him. Everyone was afraid he'd ask them for money. Mia and Noah had a falling out. On one side, the Smith family accused her of stealing company secrets, and on the other, several boys' girlfriends exposed her ambiguous chat records with them. The situation escalated, with one girl going to the extreme and physically assaulting Mia. Mia's appearance was ruined, and she's currently in a legal battle with that girl. But all of this has nothing to do with me. Ryan and I are getting ready for our wedding. On this day, I parked my car on the roadside to buy something. When I came out, I saw a girl looking at my car. When she saw me, she seemed a bit embarrassed. "Sister, I really like your car, but if I drive this, won't people think I don't look like a girl?" I smiled and replied, "If you like it, why worry about what others think?" She hesitated and said, "Because in social situations, you always have to think about fitting in." I shook my head. In social situations, you should prioritize making yourself comfortable and pleasing yourself over pleasing others. I smiled and added, "This car is comfy and stylish. Want to sit in it and try it out?" Her eyes lit up, but after a moment, she shook her head and said, "No need, sister. I'll save up enough next month and buy one for myself." After the girl left, I got a message from Ryan. For our wedding ceremony, should I change my name to Sebastian? It feels more like a romantic drama that way. I've been thinking about this for days. "No need. I like the name Ryan. It sounds strong," I replied. In no time, a message came back. "Thank you for your praise, my lady. As your husband, I will uphold the family name." I couldn't help but burst out laughing. I looked up, and the evening sky was beautiful. Today and tomorrow, the weather is going to be great.